Well, we've reached episode 99 of Don't Talk TV, and as I mentioned before, next week, episode 100, we're going to have a fantastic lineup for a live stream with Maxime Bernier and Viva Frei. So today, I want to do a little bit of a recap of why is this channel called Don't Talk TV, and also give you a bit of a preview of episode 100. Hello, my name is Nicholas Wanspeter. I'm a lawyer in Stratford, Ontario, Canada, and welcome to Don't Talk TV. So this channel is called Don't Talk TV. You hear me say welcome to Don't Talk TV every episode. However, a recurring question I get is, why is the channel called Don't Talk TV? What does that mean? Clearly, I haven't done a good enough job of banging the drum of don't talk to police and don't talk to the state. That is why this channel is called Don't Talk TV. That's one of the main reasons of this channel, is to educate people on their rights and try to reinforce to them why they should value their rights and take advantage of them. Because rights, like anything else, it's either use it or lose it. So the right to silence is a very, very important right, and if you don't use it, you'll lose it. And perhaps more importantly, if you don't use it, you risk making your situation worse or getting into trouble that you might not have otherwise gotten into with the state. I've been a lawyer for about 17 years now. The vast majority of that has been spent in criminal law, starting as a prosecutor for the first 3 years of my career in Manitoba, and then a defense lawyer since then. And I can say that in that 17 years, I have yet to see a case where speaking to police actually benefited a client. Now, granted, I'm dealing with the people who actually got charged. Maybe there's people out there who actually were able to talk their way out of a situation. However, I highly doubt it, just based on my knowledge of how police operate and what I've seen in various cases. What I have seen is an awful lot of people dig themselves deeper by talking to the police, give the police valuable evidence by way of admission that the police otherwise didn't have, and the state would never have been able to prove if not for the fact that the person spoke to the police. And I've seen a lot of people get themselves into trouble by drawing attention to themselves, getting themselves on the state's radar, and getting charges that they otherwise wouldn't have had. Now, this right is more important than ever in the age of social media, internet, and all the vast surveillance that goes on, both state and private. Just the number of cameras you see, a lot of them are private, but the state can get access to all of those. And again, going back to the use it or lose it, a test that's always used by the courts in determining whether a search was unreasonable is whether there's a reasonable expectation of privacy. And in areas where people don't generally expect privacy, like social media, because they're blasting things all over the place, there's no reasonable expectation of privacy, so you can't count on protection of the charter. Now, I think this is also more important than ever in light of things like Bill 100, which I reviewed last week, where publicly saying things that are politically unpopular can get you into criminal trouble. Now, the flip side is people say, well, that's not right. Why we should have freedom of speech? Isn't that guaranteed by the charter? I don't like this society. Well, I agree. I don't like a society where you can go to jail for holding the wrong political views either. However, my job as a lawyer is always to advise people on what the law is, not what it should be, and to advise you on what the possible consequences could be to you, not what we'd like the consequences to be, or how we'd like there to be no consequences for just being able to speak whatever you want. We're in a time period where, for the first time in many, many decades, perhaps the first time ever in Canadian history, having principles and convictions has consequences, and it could be negative consequences. So there's now a price to be paid for having principles and convictions, but in my view, that makes it all the more important to stand by those principles and convictions. Now, I know that's all a bit more philosophical, not as detail-oriented or giving you cases as I usually do, but I feel like a broken record. It's getting more and more difficult to make quality content just because of how busy I am lately, but I did want to cover those points. Now, to talk a bit more about next week's episode, I hope you're as excited about it as I am. Again, two great guests, Maxime Bernier, the leader of the People's Party of Canada, and David Freiheit, better known as Viva Frei, YouTube lawyer. He was a candidate for the People's Party of Canada. So we'll be talking about a bunch of things, a few PPC-related things. I've had some questions in the comment box For example, the question keeps coming up of like, well, shouldn't all the PPC just fold and throw all their support behind Pierre Poilievre now that he's running for the CPC leadership? We're going to talk about that. We'll talk about other things. And of course, we'll be fielding your questions. So please tune in, and specifically, please tune in to Rumble, because as I mentioned in last week's episode, YouTube won't allow me to do super chats. If you want to have your comment noticed, your question noticed, you can do a Rumble rant by going on Rumble. We'll be posting the link to that show as soon as we can. There's some timelines involved, like we're not actually allowed to schedule a show until a week out, so we're getting there. That should be up soon. Keep an eye on our social media to keep yourself up to date on when and where to go to see our live stream. So I think we'll have a great discussion. I hope to see lots of our regular viewers there commenting. This video is not legal advice. If you need legal advice, you can call a lawyer, either another lawyer or myself. My phone number and website are listed below. If you have topics you'd like to see us discuss, and especially topics you'd like to see us discuss on the live stream, you can send an email to the email address listed below. I'm putting the Proton email address up because the media at Don't Talk TV, we've been having some technical issues with that, so send to the address listed below or leave a comment in the comment section. And if you found this video at all interesting, helpful, or informative, or you want to make sure you don't miss that live stream, please like, share, subscribe, and follow us on social media.